Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us see about one more interesting topic, that is VPC pairing. So for this, let's take a real-time scenario. Let's say I have a server. I have a server in this development VPC and I have a server in this finance VPC. Now I want to access the data present in this finance VPC server from this development VPC server. From this development VPC server, I want to access the data present in this finance VPC server. Since they both are different VPCs, they are isolated to each other. Now I want to provide connection between these two VPCs and I want to get the data from this finance server to this development server. That is, I want to access the data from this development server where the data is actually present in this finance server. Now, how to do that? So to do that by using a private network, we have an option in VPC that is nothing but VPC pairing. By using this VPC pairing, you can able to access the data between your different VPCs. Now I actually put this server, that is this finance related server, in private subnet, and I put this development related server in a public subnet. Now I want to connect to this public subnet development server and I want to check whether this server can now able to access this finance related VPC or not, VPC related server or not. So currently, since now actually we haven't provided this, so for this lab I already created this development VPC as well as this finance VPC for you, and this development server as well as this finance server already created for you, as well as these subnets also have created for you. So for now in this lab we're gonna create a VPC pairing and we're gonna provide the connectivity between them. So before doing this lab, I want to show you the environment, whatever I provided for you for this lab. So first I want to show you the VPCs. I want to show you these two VPCs, those I've already created. So that's why I log into my AWS management console. Now I'm searching for an option that is VPC. So it will show me the VPCs, your VPCs. Now I'm just clicking on it so that it will open me the VPCs which are available. Now you can see under your VPCs. So it was loading. It will show me two VPCs. What are they? So actually it is showing me 4. Among those, I want to figure out only 2. That is finance VPC as well as this developer VPC. This in this finance VPC only I am storing my finance server, and in this developer VPC only I am storing my developer server. So you can even see the CIDR block range of my finance VPC as well as my CIDR block, that is a developer VPC CIDR block range. Now I'm opening my EC2 instances which I have already created for you for this lab. So for that I'm searching for EC2 again and I'm opening it in another new tab. Now, yeah, 1 second. Yeah, it is opening. Now you can see running instances. I'm opening it. Under this running instances, you can able to see 3 instances are visible and their names also visible here. So currently, what we need for this lab, we need to access this finance server data by using this development server, right? Yeah. So I want to ping this finance server from this development server. By connecting to this development server, I want to ping this finance server. So for that, now I'm just clicking on finance server. Since this finance server present in private VPC, it only has the private IP address. You can even check it doesn't have the public IP address. Now I'm just copying the private IP address of this finance server. Now I want to connect to this development server, right? So that's why I'm selecting this. And since I'm expecting to connect to this, I'm clicking on connect. Now I want to connect by using this sessions manager. So that's why I'm clicking on connect by using this sessions manager. Now actually we are connecting to what? We are connecting to development server. We are connected to development server. Now I want to ping. I want to connect to what? I want to connect to our finance server. So finance server private IP address I have already copied. Now I'm just pasting that. Now I'm just clicking on enter. Now you can see our data is pinging from this development server. So I'm just clicking on Control C. Since I did not get any response, I'm just clicking on Control C. Now you can see 11 packets are transmitted, but we haven't received any packets. That means 100% of our packet will be lost. That is, no communication happened between our development server and finance server. Even though we send traffic from our development server to this finance server. So now let's create a connectivity between them by using VPC pairing, and let's check again whether we can able to access that finance server or not by using this development server. So for that, first what we gonna do? So first we gonna create this pairing connection. So where this option is available, sir? This option is available under your VPCs. So if you open the VPCs, if you open the VPC dashboard, here you can see under your virtual private cloud, the last option you can see pairing connections. Now I'm just clicking on it. So currently I do not have any pairing connections. So now I want a pairing connection between two VPCs. What are they? Development VPC as well as finance VPC. So for that, I'm just clicking on create pairing connection here. So I'm just clicking on create pairing connection. Now it will move to this dashboard. Here we need to provide some name, even it's an optional, but I want to provide because in order to identify. So I'm providing the pairing connection. So this is the pairing connection between development VPC and finance VPC. So that's why I provided the name like this in order to identify that. So what is the requester? What is the requester VPC? Since I want to access finance data from where? From developer server. So where my developer server is present? Inside my developer VPC, right? Yeah. So since developer server is the requester where it present in developer VPC. Now my developer VPC is nothing but my requester. Now we even select the acceptor. Who is accepting? Finance server, right? Yeah. So where it is present under my finance VPC. So this is my acceptor. I have selected that VPC as my acceptor. Now I'm just clicking on create pairing connection. Now it's loading. Yeah. You can see a VPC pairing connection has been requested. So just now it was requested pending for acceptance. So for this, since I have provided permission to the IAM role, what I have logged in with to accept the request as well for this pairing connection. Now I'm just accepting this request from actions. Now you can see I'm just accepting this pairing connection where this is the requester, that is developer VPC, and this is the acceptor, that is finance VPC. Now I'm just clicking on accept request. That's it. So now you can see our peering connection is now active, right? Yes. So our pairing connection is now active. So we have successfully created our pairing connection between our VPCs. That is our finance VPC and development VPC pairing connection we have successfully created. Now let's see, do I access the finance server data from this development server or not? So I have already previously connected to this development server, right, by using sessions manager, and I have already previously pinged to this finance server, right? Yeah. So let us do at that moment of time previously, we haven't received any responses. Now let's try to ping it again and let's see do we got the responses or not. So for this again I am writing the same thing. I'm just clicking on ping and I'm writing the same server name and now I'm entering. Still now I haven't getting any response. After a few seconds also I'm not getting response. So I can thought I'm not getting the responses. So that's why I clicked on Control C. Now you can see again 11 packets got transmitted and 0 were received. That means there is no communication happening in between. Even though I created the pairing connection between my two VPCs, why? Why I am not able to access the data present in this EC2 instance from this EC2 instance? Why? Why from development server I cannot able to access the request from, or why I am unable to request the server present in this finance VPC? Because if you want to request this server which is present in this finance VPC, first we need to accept the requests which are coming from this server, right? Yes. So in this server security group, we need to allow the access, right, which is coming from this server. Yes. So how to allow that? I want to copy this development VPC and I want to allow all the requests which are coming from this development VPC to this server security group. So now I'm opening this finance VPC, finance VPC EC2 instance. Now you can see where is my finance server. This is my finance server. I'm just clicking on it. Now I want to see, I want to verify whether the security group is allowing the traffic from this development server or not. So I'm just clicking on security group, right? Yeah. Here you can see the inbound traffic. So does it allowing any inbound traffic? The answer for that is no. It is currently not allowing any inbound traffic. So that's why I'm opening this finance security group in another tab. And what I want to allow. So for this finance security group, it need to allow the traffic from our development VPC, right? Yeah. So since it need to allow the traffic from development VPC, now I'm opening the pairing connection to copy the development VPC CIDR block address. So this is the developer VPC, right? So their CIDR block address I copied. Now I want to allow this developer VPC traffic. Now I want to allow this developer VPC traffic to this finance server, right? So that's what I want to configure in security group. So now you can see we connected to finance server security group, which is directly attached to our finance server instance or finance server security group. Now I opened that security group. Now I want to allow the inbound traffic. So that's why I'm editing the inbound traffic rules. So here I'm just clicking on add rules. And here I'm allowing the custom ICAMP v4 IPv4 addresses. So which are coming from the source. That is what this is nothing but our developer VPC IP addresses. That is nothing but our VPCs, our servers present in our developer VPC. Those all IP addresses I'm allowing by using this range, right? Yeah. So now you can see that was added now successfully to our finance security group. And so let's see one more thing. Let's say I requested from this server. Now my request moves from where? From this server to this VPC, and from this VPC it need to move to this VPC, right? That means first this VPC also need to accept the requests which are coming from this VPC, right? Yes. So development VPC requests need to be accepted by finance VPC as well. So how do you provide that access? So by using the subnet actually where your server is associated with. So in that subnet also you need to allow the traffic coming from this VPC. So that's why I'm opening again this finance server. You can see this is the finance server EC2 instance. Now I'm just opening with the details, or you can see under networking, it will show you the subnet. To which subnet currently it is present in? It is present in finance private subnet. Now I'm just opening it in another new tab, and in that subnet, I want to allow the traffic which is coming from my development VPC, right? So that's why I want to check whether in my route table that does it allowing the traffic. No, it is not currently allowing the traffic. So by using what we are allowing the traffic? By using peering connection, we are allowing the traffic. So that's why I'm editing the routes. So you need to edit the route table. Here for this subnet, you need to edit the route table. Now I'm just clicking on route table. So it's again opening. Now I'm allowing the traffic to this route table. Now I just selected this. For this route table, I'm opening the routes. So currently no route is allowing from that VPC. So I'm just allowing the route. So for that, I'm just adding the route. So what is the CIDR block address that I want to paste, that I have pasted? So that is nothing but this is the IP CIDR block address of what? This is the CIDR block address of our developer VPC. This is the CIDR block address of our developer VPC, where I'm allowing this address to connect to what? To connect to this subnet. By using what? By using this peering connection, I am allowing this developer VPC servers or resources to connect to this subnet. So I'm just editing the route and adding the route here in the route table, and I'm providing by using peering connection. I'm just selecting this peering connection. So by using the peering connection that I established, that I selected, now I'm just clicking on save changes. Now you can see the peering connection is established, and that peering connection is also added in the route table, right? Yeah. So let's open our EC2 instance and let's reload the page again, and let's see whether our finance server is accepting the requests which are coming from our developer server or not. So for this, I'm selecting this finance server and I'm opening the security. Here under security inbound traffic, yeah, you can see it is allowing the traffic coming from this CIDR block IP address, where this CIDR block IP address belongs to my developer VPC. Even you can verify that from peering connection. You can see this is the developer VPC CIDR block. Okay, the finance server is accepting the finance server security group is accepting. Now let us see the subnet where this server actually present. That subnet is allowing the traffic from this developer VPC or not. So this also we configured. So let's verify that. So for that, I'm opening. So in which subnet it is? You can see the subnet is this. Now I'm just opening this subnet in another new tab. Since I provided a peering connection in a route table, this also allows the route. So that's what I want to show. Now I just selected the finance private subnet 1, where in this subnet only actually our finance server is present. Now I'm just opening the route table to check whether is there any route that is allowing the traffic which is coming from my developer servers. You can see this is the developer server's CIDR block address. By using peering connection, we are allowing the requests which are coming from our developers VPC, right, to this finance subnet. So you can see we are allowing our developer server to communicate with this subnet resources through this peering connection. So at subnet level, we are allowing the traffic by using peering connection, and at instance level also, we are allowing the traffic At instance level also, you can see we are allowing the traffic at security group level, right? Yeah. So we are allowing the traffic at security group level. So we did two things. That is, at instance level security group, we allowed the traffic which is coming from this VPC. And at subnet level also, we allowed the traffic which is coming from this VPC. So the request which we sent from the server, that is a development server, where this development server is present in this VPC, that is allowed by the subnet. So it will just move into the subnet through this pairing connection. Then after it enters into the security group, that security group, this instance security group is also allowing the requests which are coming from this VPC. So our request will be again entered into the security group of our EC2 instance, that is our finance server. And then the finance server will get the request. Then after it will accept the request and provide the response back. So again, how the response will be moved? So from this EC2 instance or finance server, the request moved back to security group level, then it moves back to subnet level. So from there, it will move back to this finance VPC. From there, it again need to move to this EC2 instance, right? So in order to move that response to this EC2 instance, first we need to allow the traffic which is coming from this finance VPC to this development VPC, right? Yes. And we also need to allow the traffic which is coming from this finance VPC to this subnet, right? Yes. That is to this instance level, this developer server security group, right? Yes. So in order to move our data or provide the response from here to here, we need to allow the traffic even in this server as well, in this development server as well. To receive the data from here, we need to allow the traffic from here to here. So how do we allow is, at instance level, at security group, we need to allow the traffic, and at VPC level, at subnet level, we need to allow the traffic coming through this pairing connection from this finance server. So those two things at security group level as well as at VPC subnet level through route table, we're gonna configure now again the response which is coming from this VPC. So for that, I'm just moving back to this development server in the instances. You can see this is the development server. Now I'm just clicking on it. Now I deselected this finance server. Now our development server is just now selected. Now you can see whether it is allowing any inbound rules. No, it is not allowing any inbound rules. Since if it allows the inbound rules from the finance server, then only it will receive the response, right? Yeah. So that's why I want to allow the inbound rules which are coming from finance VPC. So I'm just opening this developer server security group again in the new tab. You can see this is the developer server security group. Now here I want to allow the inbound traffic which is coming from that finance server. I'm just editing the inbound rules. Here I'm just adding the rules. I'm just adding the rule. So for adding this, we need to know the finance server CIDR block address. So that's what I'm copying from here. That is from pairing connection. Even you can get that from directly VPC. Now I'm just opening the rule that I previously opened to edit this developer server security group inbound traffic rule. I opened. Now I'm just adding the rule. This is a custom ICMP rule. Now I want to add traffic which is coming from this server, that is from this VPC to there. So that's why I provided this and selected this. Now I'm just adding this. I'm just saving this rule. So now you can see under our development server security group, we are allowing the traffic which is coming from finance VPC, right? So whatever the traffic which is coming from finance server, that is allowed at instance level security group, right? Yes. So but at a top level, at VPC subnet level, do we allow the traffic? So currently not. So I want to allow the traffic which is coming at a VPC level subnet route table. So that's why I'm opening again my instance, that is a development instance. I want to see the in which subnet it is present. Now you can see this is present in developer public subnet 1. Now I'm just opening it. Now let us see to which route table it is associated with and do the route is allowed or not. Now I just selected this. Now you can see I'm opening the route table. So currently the route table does not have traffic allowed from our finance security group, that is our finance server, finance VPC, to this developer public subnet. So since we need to add that, right? So that's why I'm opening this route table of my developer subnet. Now I want to add the route, right? So for that we have an option to add the route. To edit the inbound traffic, we have option. Now you can see under the routes. So currently there is no route which allows the traffic from our finance VPCs to this developer public subnet. Since I want to add that, I'm editing the routes. Now I'm just clicking on add route. Now here I want to provide that finance VPC address, that is CIDR block address I provided. Now by using pairing connection only, I want to allow the traffic. So that's why I selected this pairing connection. So here I'm selecting what are the pairing connection that I have created previously. Now I'm just saving the changes. So we did only two things, that is inside. So first we created our pairing connection. That is what this is the pairing connection that we created, right? Yeah. So this is the pairing connection we created. After that, so at subnet level, we have added the route to allow the traffic which is coming from this development VPC. And here also we at route table level, we allow the traffic which is coming from this finance VPC, right? Yeah. So those two I want to show you. You can see, yeah, this is a developer public subnet. So for this developer public subnet, I have added that route through this pairing connection. You can see this is the CIDR block address. Now I want to open that finance server subnet as well. I have opened this finance server subnet as well. You can see here also we have allowed the traffic from that developer VPC through pairing connection, right? Yeah. Then after what we did, we just simply allowed the traffic at instance level. At instance level security group also, we have allowed the traffic coming from this developer VPC. Here also we allowed the traffic coming from this finance VPC at instance level security group as well. So those two also I want to show you. Now you can see this is the developer security group. So here we allowed the traffic which is coming from our finance VPC. So that is the CIDR block address of it. So this is the inbound rules. You can check it. And I want to show you, yeah, I want to show you the finance VPC as well. This is the finance VPC. This is the finance server security group. So here also we allowed the traffic which is coming from our developer VPC, right? Yeah. So now let's connect back to our developer server. You can see this is the developer server that I have connected previously. I want to again ping the finance server now. Now I'm just clicking on enter. You can see we are getting the responses, right? Yeah, we are getting the responses. So from this, what you can able to say, we are now able to communicate with our finance VPC from where? From our developer VPC by using what? A peering connection where our finance VPC is present, where our developer server is present, where our finance server is present. Are they present in different VPCs or same VPC? They are present in different VPCs. So how do you establish the connection between those different VPCs? Now I'm just clicking on Control C so that it will be stopped. You can see 46 packets are transmitted and 46 packets are received. So 0% packet loss. That means a good communication happened between our finance server as well as our development server. From here, I just pinged the IP address, private IP address of it. So now let's move back to the questions. That is, where do these two VPCs present in the same these two servers, that is finance server as well as development server, present in the same VPC? No. So they are present in different VPCs. How do we allow the traffic between these two VPCs? By using a pairing connection. So to establish the communication between these two servers, what are the few things that we did? We just created a pairing connection and we allowed the traffic coming from this VPC through this pairing connection to where? To this subnet, and we even allowed the traffic coming from this finance VPC through this pairing connection at this subnet level. Then after, we even allowed the instance level security group, the traffic coming from this VPC, as well as here also we did the same thing. So we allowed at security group level as well as our subnet level route tables as well, the traffic. So that's what we did, and we created a pairing connection. That's it. In this way, you can able to provide communication between one server present in one VPC and other server present in another VPC. So currently these two are present in same availability zone, same region. So this is how you can able to provide communication between different VPC servers by using VPC pairing connection. So I hope this video is understanding to you and you understood how to create a pairing connection between two VPCs and provide communication between the servers which are present in different VPCs. We just focused on two things, that is at security, that is at instance level, does it allowing the traffic at security group? So that we have checked and we provided we allowed the traffic, and at top of that security group, we have even checked the subnet level, does it allowing the traffic or not? So if it is not allowing, then we allowed the traffic through pairing connection at route table, and we provided the communication between these two servers. So that's the key concept that we learned from this hands-on lab. I hope this video is useful to you. If you feel this video is useful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching. Again, see you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye.